Hi, YouTubers and wet shavers everywhere. It's MargaretGeorgeTune.com. I'm back with another Monday Morning Mailbag. Get yourself a cup of coffee, kick back, relax. Let's talk a little wet shaving and a few other things. What do you got this morning? Well, I've got a familiar friend this morning in the way of a coffee and also a brand new coffee mug. As you can see, hang on 1 minute. We'll get to all that. I got to get my first morning sip. 1 minute. Yeah, that is absolutely fantastic. We are using Tim Hortons coffee this morning. Again, this is the original blend ground coffee, Canada's favorite coffee. And the reason why we're using this is because there's kind of a Canadian connection to the coffee mug in a roundabout way. And the coffee mug is absolutely beautiful. This came courtesy of viewer David Lair. David, thank you very, very much. And as you can see, it's a Snoopy and Woodstock coffee mug. There's Snoopy and Woodstock sitting on top of Snoopy's doghouse enjoying, well, I guess it'd be a cup of hot cocoa for them, wouldn't it? But for our purposes, we'll say they're enjoying a cup of coffee together. That's one side of the mug, and here is the other side of the mug. Absolutely beautiful, huh? Really spectacular coffee mug. And David sent along a little note here, and he writes, hey Mark, I was at Cracker Barrel the other morning and saw this mug and thought you would like it. Well, I absolutely love it. It's wonderful. Thank you very much, David. Just a little thank you for all the great content you create. Thanks, Dave Lair, right there. Well, Dave, again, this channel and this show is all due to the great viewers out there. So I will extend your thanks to all of them because they make this show and this channel possible. And so, thanks to everyone out there for everything that you contribute to the show in the way of tips, tricks, and other ways that you contribute to the show. You make this show and this channel possible. So once again, I will extend your thanks to all of them. And thank you very, very much for this really delightful coffee mug. Now, the connection with the Peanuts comic strip and the Tim Hortons coffee out of Canada is that at the NCS Rubens, this mug reminded me. I was thinking, how can I connect something to the coffee I was going to use this morning? I thought, I'll use Tim Hortons coffee out of Canada because I came to know a very, very talented cartoonist out of Canada, a very, very talented Canadian cartoonist, Lynn Johnston. And Lynn Johnston, as you know, is the cartoonist and creator behind the comic strip For Better or For Worse that was syndicated internationally, nationally and internationally, throughout the United States, throughout Canada, and everywhere around the globe. Very, very talented cartoonist and a very, very nice person. Really wonderful. And I had many discussions and chats with her through the years of being a member of the National Cartoonist Society. And whenever I went to a Reuben Awards, there she was. And she appeared to be a very, very good friend to Charles Schulz. And so there's kind of your connection between Charles Schulz, Tim Hortons coffee, cartooning, and Lynn Johnston. So there you go. So again, my thanks to David Lair for a really delightful coffee mug. David, thank you again very, very much. Hey, before we get the show underway, Rodney Ripplinger sent this along. My favorite winter sport is walking to the coffee maker. How about that? That's absolutely fantastic. And I hope you walk to the coffee maker this morning, and I hope you're enjoying a cup of coffee with me this morning. As we like to say on the show, I'm going to bring it down here so I don't get it wrong. A good hot coffee, a trusty mug, let the caffeine go to work, gentlemen. Yeah, the number of times that I have said that and written it, and now I have it on the George mugs, the Monday Morning Mailbag George mugs. I still want to look at it to make sure I get it right. And hey, if you're taking me along for your morning commute, thanks very much for the lift. I really do appreciate that. If you're listening to the podcast this morning, thanks very much for tuning into the various streaming platforms that are out there like iHeartRadio and Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, that sort of thing. Boy, we've got a terrific show for you this morning. Thank you so much for tuning in. We have got a viewer shaving tip all the way from Malaysia. Check that out. That's really interesting. Got a really interesting shave den visit in a roundabout way, courtesy of Greg Passanti. we have some great photos of the Monday Morning Mailbag shaving mugs, and viewers who have those shaving mugs. They've sent along photos. We're going to share those with you a little later on. Also, some updates and reminders. We got some great refill comments this morning. New wet shave gear. Wait till you see what we have in new wet shave gear. We have an outstanding item, courtesy of viewer Matt Panter. This is really spectacular. Stay tuned for that. And we also have some questions and comments. So that's what we got going on this morning. Thanks so much for tuning in. I hope you're enjoying a cup of coffee with me this morning. So let's get the show kicked off like we do every week with a viewer morning shaving tip. Well, this morning's shaving tip comes from viewer Mervyn Arul. That's spelled capital A-R-U-L. Mervyn, I hope I pronounced your name correctly. If I didn't, please forgive me. Anyhow, Mervyn writes, "Hello there, Mark. Hope you're well. I'm Mervyn from Malaysia. It has just been amazing watching Monday Morning Mailbag week after week on my way home from work every Monday. I remember the topic about shave scoops recently on one of your previous episodes. I just wanted to share what I use. Besides having a teaspoon, which I initially started with, now I use an elongated pressed penny or an elongated copper coin, which I actually got for my daughter a few years back at Universal Studios in Singapore. When I was a kid, that was a long time back, during a trip to the U.S., I remember seeing one of these machines where we could get a pressed penny as a souvenir. If I remember correctly, it cost $0.25. I got one, but lost it. I don't know when. When I was at Universal Studios in Singapore a few years back, I saw this machine and asked my daughter if she would like one, and she agreed, not knowing it ended up in my pocket, and I found a great use for it. It's thin and rigid enough to slice through any soap, and it's easy to scoop out how much soap you desire with it. I've attached a photo of these coins, which I have. The one on top is the one I acquired from Universal Studios. Since it's copper, it discolors and develops patina over time. Therefore, it has been dipped in ketchup for a few minutes, then cleaned. The other two I acquired over time at our Petronas Twin Towers and local National Museum. I'm keeping these as standby just in case I lose the first one. Looking forward to your next episode, Mark. Take care, stay safe, and shave on. Regards from Malaysia, Mervyn. Mervyn, I absolutely love this shaving tip because these pressed coins will make great shave soap scoops. As you say, thin and rigid, and will just slice through any kind of shave soap that's out there. Absolutely fantastic, fantastic shaving tip. But there's also that other element there. It's a souvenir. It's a memory. It is something that connects your family together. You went there, you bought this for your daughter, it ended up in your pocket, you're using it as a shave scoop. It was a souvenir. There's this memory of having it made, that sort of thing. And years from now, your daughter will look at that and say, "Hey, this is what Dad used for his shave scoop." So there's that great tradition within the wet shave, within the traditional wet shave, of looking at our gear, whether it be a razor, a brush, a soap scoop, and having that family connection and remembering the person who used it, whether it was our father, older brother, uncle, grandfather, that sort of thing. So that's why I love this shaving tip so much, because not only is it practical, you use a pressed coin as a great shave soap scoop, but also because it has that continuation and connection to family, that something that we really hold within the traditional wet shave. We look at that gear and say, "Gee whiz, this belonged to my dad, this belonged to my grandfather." Same thing with this coin. And when, a son or a daughter, whoever, looks at that shave gear and sees a pressed coin like that, the memory of when it was made and where they were will come back. Oh yeah, we were at Walt Disney World when Dad had these made, and he used this one as his shave soap scoop. Wow, well, and they might use it for their traditional wet shave as well. Really, really neat. That's why I like this shave tip so much. A great way to use a pressed coin as a shave soap scoop, but also that connection, the tradition of continuing a piece of wet shaving gear within an heir's shave den, that sort of thing. Yeah, absolutely love it. Thank you so much for passing it along, Mervyn. Really, really do appreciate it. And to say thank you for you and only you, an original signed George sketch. So please email me your snail mail address to mondaymailbag@gmail.com, mondaymailbag@gmail.com, and I will send this to you post haste. And if you out there would like an original signed George sketch, just email me a shaving tip. Email that shaving tip to mondaymailbag@gmail.com. And if I use it here on the Viewer Morning Shaving Tip segment of the Monday Morning Mailbag, you too will receive an original signed George sketch. So Mervyn, thanks again for a really, really terrific shaving tip. Really do appreciate it. Well, this morning's Shave Den visit comes courtesy of viewer Greg Pisante. Now, in the past, we've talked about Old Spice. Viewer Abane Samant very kindly sent along Old Spice manufactured in India. Very, very good. We have also reviewed and used cold spices from Phoenix Shaving, the Aftershave Splash, the shave soap, the Star Jelly, that sort of thing. But Greg Pisante sent along the real deal. The actual Old Spice. This is the real stuff right here. And if I recall correctly from our correspondence, this is from the 1970s. Yeah, no kidding. And when I took out the stopper, boy, yeah, this is Old Spice. Now, here's what Greg wrote regarding this particular item that he acquired from eBay. Vintage Old Spice is a scent of our fathers and grandfathers, and for many of us, it's how we remember them. Sure, you can still buy it today, but it's not the same as it once was. But never fear, the good stuff is just an eBay search away. Here's a few tips to ensure that if you do decide to get some, you have a smooth purchase experience. 1, these run from $30 to $50 a bottle. Remember, this stuff has survived decades, so it does come at a premium. 2, never take their word for it. Make them weigh the bottle and take a photo of it and the scale to ensure you get what you paid for. 3, a 2.5 ounce bottle should weigh 6.1 ounces, but always double check by Googling to ensure a full bottle when buying. And 4, it's safe to use. And I have never had an issue. Trust me, and Mark, it still smells wonderful. Greg Pisante. Greg, thank you very, very much for sending this along to the channel and allowing me to share it with all the viewers out there. I'm going to get a review done on this. Spoiler alert, I have already used it in a shave. It's wonderful. It's Old Spice as I remember it was when I was a kid. My father, my older brother Jay used this, and yeah, it brought back a lot of memories. Absolutely. And there was also a moisturizing quality to this too. I don't know why, but I was very, very surprised by that. Really, really terrific. Greg also mentioned that in correspondence. Hey, you know what? There's a little bit of moisturizing there. And I read that after I had used it, and I said, yes, I did feel that. So absolutely fantastic. The real deal, the real vintage Old Spice right here. Do an eBay search and just remember the recommendations and the advice that Greg passed along to you here. And you should have a smooth purchase of vintage Old Spice that's available on eBay. And again, I believe this is from the 1970s. Really, really terrific, terrific scent. Now, that's not to say that the Old Spice coming out of India and the Cold Spices Homage are not good. They're both very, very good. We like these a lot. Very, very good. We're talking about an option here. If you really want the vintage old stuff, it's available. And that's why Greg sent this along. And again, our thanks to him. for very kindly and generously sending this along the channel and allowing me to share with all the viewers. So there you go. You got another option. You've got the Old Spice that's made in India. Thanks again to Abane Samant. You've got an homage to Old Spice from Phoenix Shaving. And you've got the real deal available on eBay. Greg, thanks again very, very much. Well, here's your reminder that the Maggard Meetup takes place on April 26, 2025 from 12 to 5 in Adrian, Michigan. Tickets went on sale this past Friday. They're $35 each. So we'll link to the Maggard website where you can get tickets. Again, it's April 26, 2025 from 12 noon to 5 p.m. at 124 South Winter Street in Adrian, Michigan, 49221. I've got my ticket. I hope to see you there. Hey, here's a reminder that the channel now has auto dub technology courtesy of YouTube and Google. You can translate this particular video, the Monday Morning Mailbag, and all the other shave videos on this channel into Italian, German, Portuguese, Spanish, or French on the fly in real time. Pretty amazing technology. Just hit that gear in the lower right part of the video screen. A menu will pop up, and from there you can select your language: Italian, German, Portuguese, Spanish, or French. So if English isn't your strong suit and you are well versed in any of those available languages, just click on it, and this video and other videos will be instantly translated into Italian, German, Portuguese, Spanish, or French. Pretty amazing technology. Check it out. Oh, we have a giveaway update for you this morning. First of all, we sent off the second prize shave brush handle. Of course, we gave away 3, but the one that was designated as second prize, we sent off to viewer JR1430, Jay Robinson. So we sent him the tracking number and we mailed it to him. So Jay, when you receive it, please drop us a line and let us know. Snap a picture of it. And sure would like to know if it gets to you intact. Again, we attached a tracking number with that. So if it does get kind of misguided or maybe not lost, but kind of maybe delayed in delivery, that sort of thing, we'll know where to find it. So again, Jay, keep an eye out for that. It's on its way to you. And also, Jonathan Peoples won that beautiful red shave brush handle. Of course, these were all CB Brushworks shave brush handles, courtesy of Chris Bodrab. Thank you again very much, Chris. Well, Jonathan Peoples sent along some photos of his shave brush after he received it. And here's what he writes. Mark, I just sent pictures of the before and after on the handle. We're going to show those to you right now. The knot was from Maggard Razors. It was their 28 millimeter black and white synthetic knot. That is the Mag-Knot-BW-28 for any of you out there who are interested in maybe getting that synthetic fiber knot. And I told him, I said, that looks great. That really looks great. And he said, I thought it looked great as well. Again, I really appreciate you and Chris for making this possible. Well, Chris Bodrab made this all possible. Again, Chris, thank you very, very much for sponsoring this giveaway. Really do appreciate it. Just some really handsome, great looking shave brush handles. And Jonathan continues here. This is my first brush build. You really sold me on the synthetic knots. I look forward to this one. Yeah, I'm sure it's going to be absolutely fantastic. I believe I happen to have that Maggard synthetic shave knot, and it is a wonderful performer. And I absolutely love the color selection that you have there, because the black in the shave knot really plays off well the black highlights in that red brush handle. Really looks spectacular. So congratulations again to Jonathan, and also to Jay. Again, Jay, when you get your shave brush handle, snap a picture of it and let us know how it goes. I believe you said you were going to go ahead and drop a knot in there. So when you do that, please send along a picture of that. And Jonathan, thank you again for sending along the pictures of your shave brush handle. Looks absolutely fantastic. Gentlemen, thanks again very, very much. And again, a big, big thank you to viewer Chris Bodrab for donating these handles and sponsoring the giveaway. Chris, thank you again very, very much. Well, here's your weekly reminder that the Monday Morning Mailbag is also available as a podcast. Simply get up to your favorite streaming service and search for Monday Morning Mailbag and more, Monday Morning Mailbag and more, and the Monday Morning Mailbag podcast, as well as our other podcast, Second Cup, will come right up. Both of those podcasts are available on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, YouTube, and now iHeartRadio. Well, we're enjoying a wonderful cup of coffee this morning in this absolutely delightful Peanuts cartoon coffee mug. This came to the channel courtesy of viewer David Lair. David, thank you again very, very much. This also serves as a reminder that we have our own cartoon coffee mug available at the George Toon Shaving online store, the Monday Morning Mailbag coffee mug. There's the logo right there with George and our catchphrase on the back. We also have other designs available up there, so check it out, George Toon Shaving online store. We'll link it below. Some viewers have also passed along photos of them and their coffee mugs this morning. We're going to kick it off with something from Rod Putnam, who writes, 2 cups of George. Mark, I received my George coffee mugs. I went with the 15-ounce size. Absolutely love them and super happy for you. Great job. Congratulations on allowing George the opportunity to be invited into so many homes for coffee. Rod, thank you so very, very much. Very, very nice of you to say that. Joel Toronto sent this along, a wonderful photo of him with his coffee mug, and he writes, good to the last drop. Thank you again, Joel. Really do appreciate that. He also continues here, I gave one to my wife and 2 neighbors who I got into wet shaving. They are great. Wow. Thank you very, very much, Joel. Really do appreciate that. Jamie Horn sent along these photos. He absolutely loves his Monday Morning Mailbag coffee mug. Jamie, thanks so much for sending that along. Really do appreciate that. James Gazda sent along coffee mugs that he has right there where he brews his coffee. James, thanks very, very much for that. They look absolutely great in your kitchen there. Viewer Scott Martin sent this along. Hi, Mark. I'm happy to say that George has an honored spot in my morning coffee roaster with my hand crank grinder and Mocha Master drip machine. What a great mug. Cheers, Scott. Wow, Scott, that is absolutely fantastic. It's so great to be part of a wonderful, multifaceted, elegant, and superlative coffee environment. Thank you so much for that. That's absolutely fantastic. We got this from Jay Techanex. He didn't go with a coffee mug. He went with a sweatshirt. Wow. Hi, Mark. My George sweatshirt came in, and I'm ready to lounge about the house with it. It feels really warm and soft and washes well. I have attached a picture of the shirt. Have a great week, Jay. Jay, thank you so much. That looks absolutely fantastic. Boy, it looks like that design came out so well on the sweatshirts. Check them out, folks. We have them available as well. Jay, thank you very, very much. This came in from David Bates, all the way from across the pond in the United Kingdom, and he writes, Hi, Mark. Hope this finds you well. I thought you'd be keen to know that after purchasing one of your beautiful mugs, it arrived in the UK this afternoon. I have attached a couple of photographs for you to show on 3MB if you would like to. Absolutely. Thank you so much for sending in the photos, David. Really do appreciate it. It only took 8 days from order to delivery and arrived in perfect condition. Picture 1 is George surrounded by some of my favorite kit. Picture 2 is me, George, and some fine coffee. He continues here, I would love to display a signed picture of George on the wall of the Shave Cave. So here's my shaving tip. Well, Dave, we're going to hold your shaving tip for next week. We'll absolutely get you a signed George sketch for that shaving tip. So stay tuned, folks, for next week's Monday Morning Mailbag, where we will share David Bates's shaving tip. And David, thanks again for the great photos of the George coffee mug. And when we share your shaving tip with everyone, I'm sure we'll be sharing those photos again. So my thanks to everyone who sent photos in this morning of themselves with some of these great coffee mugs from the Georgetown Shaving online store. I am so flattered and honored. Thank you all very, very much. Well, what do you know? Coffee's getting low. That time of the show. Let's go back for a refill. Well, I hope you're enjoying a cup of coffee with me this morning. I hope you went back for a refill. I sure did. Hang on, let me get a sip. Yeah, that's absolutely wonderful. Once again, we're using Tim Hortons, Canada's favorite coffee. Boy, this is a good one. Like it a lot. And we have got it in the Snoopy and Woodstock Peanuts cartoon coffee mug that came courtesy of viewer David Lair. David, thank you again very, very much. And the connection between Charles Schulz and Snoopy and Woodstock and Tim Hortons coffee is that Lynn Johnston, the cartoonist from Canada, Canadian cartoonist, very, very nice person, very, very talented cartoonist, was good friends with Charles Schulz. And I happened to have the good fortune of meeting both Charles Schulz and getting to know Lynn Johnston a little bit better. Always enjoyed talking with her at the National Cartoonist Society Ribbon Awards. Very, very nice person and a very, very talented cartoonist. Again, her comic strip was, for better or for worse, known throughout the United States and Canada and even around the globe, I think. Yeah, really very, very talented cartoonist and a fellow Canadian up there. Well, I'm not a fellow Canadian. You're a fellow Canadian if you're in Canada watching this right now. That's what I mean. And that's why we're using the Tim Hortons in the Peanuts coffee mug, because there's the Lynn Johnston and Charles Schulz connection. Does that make any sense? Well, anyhow, that's what we're going with this morning. So great to be with you. Again, thanks so much for tuning in and sharing a cup of coffee with me this morning. We got some great topics in the refill segment this morning. Let's kick it off with something from Paul Desjardins, who writes, "Morning, Mark, system crash. Yeah, been there, done that. Oh, joy. I know it's not cheap, but invest in a hard drive backup. You can get ones with up to a terabyte. Mine saved my life last year. You won't regret it." Absolutely, Paul. I do have a couple of hard drive backups. They are solid state, and you're absolutely right. I'm glad I had a lot of those files backed up because it came in really, really handy. I was happy to have those files backed up in case I had to move to another system. Luckily, right now, what we have here running, knockwood 123, knockwood 123, and hopefully it'll continue to run. But that's why last week's show was a little shorter. So we might even cut this one down a little bit yet. I'm not entirely sure. System seems to be nice and stable and running smoothly. We'll see. Knockwood 123, 123. So thanks very much for the suggestion, Paul. Really do appreciate it. Bill Murphy writes, "Great show, Mark. Thanks for showing Connie and me with our George mugs." Absolutely. Thanks very much for sending in the photos. We love them a lot. My George sweatshirt is on its way and should be here this week. Well, that's great. Another George sweatshirt purchase. Hey, thanks very much for that, Bill. Really do appreciate it. Please send a photo in when you get that on and let us know how you like it. Really do appreciate that. The storage box from Target Idea has given me the urge to update my storage bin that I have in our spare bedroom. Just received Phoenix Shaving Black Bot today, and it smells great. Have a great week. You know what, Bill? If you want to do a quick review of Black Bot, please send it in. I'm sure a lot of viewers would love to hear that. So thank you very much for passing that along. Really do appreciate it. Larry Sablotny writes, "It was great to see the pictures of those with the George mugs. I sure love mine, and I have another one arriving Wednesday." Larry, thank you very, very much. And your picture was great as well. I'm so glad to hear that you and others are enjoying the George Monday Morning Mailbag coffee mugs. And we have other designs up there at Georgetown Shaving online store. Again, we'll link it below. This comes from Steve M. 1563. "Great show, Mark. I hope your computer is okay." Steve, so far, so good. Again, Knockwood 123 123. Beth Jones writes, good morning, Mark. Thank you for demonstrating the Henson razor, and I'm glad you noticed a slight difference in the efficiency as well. Well, Beth, thank you very, very much for sending along this newer Henson razor to the channel, allowing me to share it with all the viewers out there. It's an absolutely wonderful, wonderful razor. It delivered a beautiful, close, smooth shave like this one a lot. And yes, we talked about it in the review that I agree with Beth that there is a little more blade feel and a little more efficiency, but still a really, really smooth shave. And of course, we were comparing this one to the original Henson mild right here. These are both mild models. And there are some differences there we discussed. Check out the review. It ran this past Wednesday. And Beth, thank you so much for sending this to the channel. She continues here. Henson razor has always been my favorite go-to razor since I began my wet shaving journey in 2020, and I have never regretted it. Have a great rest of the week. Beth, again, thank you so very, very much for allowing me to share this razor with all the viewers out there. I really, really do appreciate it. Jeff Palmer writes, thanks for a great 3MB. I'm glad you like the razor blade holder. Yeah, the razor blade holder shaving tip was absolutely fantastic, Jeff. Folks, if you missed it, I believe it was last week's show, an absolutely fantastic shaving tip. Check it out. We're going to be talking about it more later on in the show, so stay tuned. He continues here. That looks like a huge Buc-ee's cup. We'll have to remember to pick one up next time I get around to one of them. Yeah, that was sent in to the channel by viewer Barry Bedford. He sent in this wonderful Buc-ee's coffee mug. Thank you again, Barry. Really, really do appreciate it. And Barry referred to Buc-ee as the official ambassador of Texas. Well, Jeff continues here. I'm going to refer to all Buc-ee's as Texas embassies from now on. Yeah, an ambassador, an embassy. Yeah, makes perfect sense, Jeff. Thanks very much. Hope you have a great rest of your week. Well, thank you very much, Jeff. You too. Really do appreciate the kind words and the really, really great comment about Buc-ee's. Yeah, I got to get to one of those. I think the nearest one is in Kentucky. So if I'm ever in that neck of the woods, I'm definitely going to stop in. Jeff Palmer also wrote this. This is my most favorite razor. Now, this is in regards to the Henson again. I have a newer one like that, like this one right here, the newer design. I usually do a 2 to 3 pass with it. It is so mild that if you do have a blemish, it will just glide over it. That is very, very true. If I am ever asked about which razor to start off with, it's this one right here. I agree, a great starter razor for anyone starting their wet shaving journey because of that beautiful angle that's built into the razor head. You can find that 30-degree angle very, very easily. If I was trapped on a deserted island, I would pick the frying pan and this razor. I think a lot of wet shavers agree with you on that one, Jeff. Thanks very, very much. Viewer Jimmy V Photography writes, I loved my Henson ++AL. Then, when they released the V2 in titanium, I immediately ordered the ++ medium. Great razor. If I could have only one fixed razor, it would be the Henson TI medium. I agree that the handle has improved grippiness, but I wound up replacing it with a timeless TI handle as it feels better in my hand. The Henson head angle puts the shave on autopilot. I got one for my son-in-law, and he loves it too. Yeah, again, thanks, Jimmy. Again, that angle right there, that built-in angle right there in the razor head. Yeah, autopilot. I agree with you 100%. Tyler Fike sent this along. Nice video, Mark. I have never used any of the original Hensons or the new mild one. I do own the new medium version, and I love it. Very efficient and definitely some good blade feel. Henson certainly designed these razors correctly because they weigh nothing, but they can mow down a beard in no time. I agree. We always say 30 degrees, a light touch, let the razor do all the work, gentlemen. And by that, we mean the weight of the razor. Even though this is lighter in weight, boy, this razor head really does all the work. I agree with you, Tyler. Thanks very much for that comment. Oh, this comes from Woke Shaver. I have the titanium mild version, and it's pretty much the same aggression as my medium AL 15. I think maybe you mean the 13. I'm not entirely sure. It also has even better knurling. Great review, Mark. Hey, thank you very much, Woke Shaver. Really do appreciate it. That comment was left on the review I did of this beautiful Henson razor that, again, was very generously sent to the channel by Beth Jones. These razors are great. You got to try them. They're really, really very, very good. This comes from Odin Arcade, 00. Odin Arcade. This is regarding the Henson razor. He writes, this was my first razor about a month ago. I got the tan version, although it's more bronze to me. I got the mild. I love this razor even more than my Rockwell 6C. I like the RK blades, Astra blades, Gillette Nasset, and feather in this razor, although I absolutely prefer the feather blade in this razor because you get a perfectly close shave in 2 passes. I used mine this morning with a brand new feather blade. I used the new Supply shave cream and aftershave. Absolutely close and efficient shave with only 2 passes. This razor is perfect. I really want the titanium version. Yeah, the titanium seems to me that it would have a little more heft, a little more weight, probably improve the shave maybe. I mean, allowing the weight of the razor to do the work. Although, again, the razor head is so efficient. I'm just saying a little more weight would probably even improve the shave a little more. Yeah, the Henson, great razors, absolutely great razors. Agree with you a lot. Beth Jones replied, I have the TI-22 mild, and I think the aggression level is on par with the Henson 2.0 mild razor. Odin Arcade 00 replied, wow, that's wonderful. My Henson and a feather blade are a match made in heaven. So one day I do hope to get a TI-22 mild as well. No other razor has given me such an efficient and comfortable shave as of yet. Wow, that is really a great endorsement for the Henson razor. So thank you again, Beth and Odin Arcade 00. Let's see, this is RJ Wright, W30, who writes, nice. A buddy of mine just got the A13 mild one and loves it. Another wet shave convert. Yeah, I can see where the Henson would convert someone to the traditional wet shave. Autopilot, as Jimmy V said. Smooth shave, as other viewers have noted. Yeah, really, really terrific. Beth Jones, it's her go-to razor. Yeah, absolutely. This comes from Paul the Kiwi Shaver. Hey, Paul the Kiwi Shaver, are you in New Zealand? Are you checking in from New Zealand? Please let me know in the comments below. I think that's so neat. And Paul writes, great razor. I use vintage mostly. However, I reach for my Henson mild if I want a great, easy shave or had irritation. I reach for the Never Fail Henson, an absolutely fantastic razor. I can agree with that. If you're using a razor that has a little more aggression, a little more growl, and maybe you develop a little bit of irritation, yeah, this Henson razor is nice and mild to where it's going to give you a nice shave and not aggravate that irritation from the previous shave. Yeah, great point, Paul. Thanks so much. Odin Arcade 00 writes again, hey, Mark, I also ordered the 6S, and it was $70 out the door for a matte black version on Gold Palm Accessories. Oh, this was regarding the Gold Palm Accessories website that we talked about in Second Cup and also last week's Monday Morning Mailbag. They had Rockwell razors at huge discounts. You could save $70, $75. Really pretty amazing. And some of the folks who have ordered these are now receiving their razors. Again, Odin Arcade continues here. It's currently in Canada on its way. I think the catch here was the time it takes to ship. Other than that, it seems legit. There's also a red and blue one left at the same store. I didn't want to say anything until I received the item, but fingers crossed, it was an amazing deal. Love the show. Thanks again. I also love my Henson razor. I definitely want the titanium. Well, let us know how that Rockwell razor works for you when it arrives. Snap some photos, that sort of thing. That's what I told him, and he said, will do. I believe Gold Palm Accessories has reduced the discount from 55% to 25% on the remaining couple of razors they still have. I got there in the nick of time. But yes, it's a small Canadian business and the shipping time is slower than most online stores. But that's okay. It was a great deal considering most places charge $135 to $150 for the matte black 6S. Wow. Yeah, again, let us know how that works for you. Wow, that's, I'm excited for you. That's great. Bart Buzz writes, Monday morning mailbag avoids a Windows crash. A clever shaving tip for keeping track of razor blades and the number of uses. For me, this is regarding the blade holder board that Jeff Palmer, that shave tip that he sent in. Again, we're going to talk about it a little later on in the show. So yeah, stay tuned. For me, it's much simpler. I have one magnet and a single die to keep track of my blade. I never use more than one blade at a time. Most blades are retired after 3 shaves. There are a couple of favorites that I will use up to 5 or 6 times as long as there is no tugging. Looks like your coffee mugs are a big hit. Congratulations and all the best in the week ahead. Thank you very much, Bart. I really do appreciate that. And I sure hope that everyone out there who has ordered a George, let's see, what is it? George Toon Shaving, a coffee mug from George Toon Shaving, whether it's the Monday Morning Mailbag or the 30 Degrees coffee mug, that sort of thing. I sure hope you like them. I sure hope you enjoy using them. I mentioned this before. I was so delighted with the way they came out. So Bart, thanks again for the kind words. I really do appreciate it. Texan Shaves. This is Barry Bedford. He says, glad you liked the mug. Love the shirt. Great Monday morning mailbag as always. That was regarding the Buc-ee's mug that Barry very kindly sent to the channel. We used it last week. Check out last week's Monday morning mailbag to get a look at that coffee mug. And we also have a Buc-ee's t-shirt that Beth and her husband Jim sent to the channel. That's absolutely a favorite. Definitely warm weather wear. And we're going to get that. We're going to break that one out when the temperature starts getting a little warmer. Absolutely. This comes from R.H. Day Shaves, who writes, another great 3MB, Mark. Thank you. That razor holder looks like a neat idea. Again, stay tuned. We're going to talk about it later. But also check out last week's Monday Morning Mailbag. That's where it was first introduced. If I had a 3D printer, I'd make one. My low-tech process is to add a dot for each use with a black Sharpie right on the razor blade I'm using. Cheers. You know what? I think someone else mentioned a similar technique of marking the blade somehow after each use. Now, you mentioned if you had a 3D printer. Here in Cleveland, the Cleveland Public Library downtown, the main library, they have 3D printers available. All you have to do is bring your own data files and your own materials, a library card, and you can use their 3D printers. I do believe you have to go through a program of instruction on how to use the 3D printer, and that's free as well, from what I understand. But you can then, after you learn how to use the 3D printers, you can then go ahead and print whatever you want on a 3D printer, as long as you bring your own material and your own data files, that sort of thing. So check your local library to see if they have a similar program and similar equipment available to you, because I haven't taken advantage of it yet. I'm thinking of it. I'm thinking about doing it though. And yeah, really, really neat. 3D printing is really enhancing the traditional wet shave and the kinds of gear that you can get, from razors to brush handles, razor stands, brush holders, and this other item we're going to be talking about later on in the show. So stay tuned. Scott Martin writes, great show, Mark. I was particularly interested in the Shave Den visit as I have never heard of King Hood razors before. When I have my eye on getting a new razor, I tend to fall in love with razors I can't afford. So I want to get something at a reasonable price point. King Hood has a lot of cool looking razors on Amazon for 20 or 30 bucks. So I'm going to scoop up a couple. Thanks for the info. Cheers, Scott. Well, thank you, Scott. But again, the King Hood razors and the information regarding them are courtesy of all the viewers out there. We reviewed a King Hood razor previously. We'll link that video below. That was really a nice razor. We really liked the shave with that one. And again, nice price point, good build. So yeah, check out that review. Again, we'll link it below. Really, really terrific razor. So I'm so glad that you're going to give them a look and let us know what you think. This comes from Ken Williams. Hi, Mark. Thanks for letting me know of the alcohol-free witch hazel from Walmart. It's found in the makeup removal aisle quite a ways from the one with alcohol. Been using it for a few days and I like it more than the one with alcohol. Thanks again. See you next Monday. Well, Ken, thanks to all the viewers out there who pointed this out. I believe the late Mark Bagwell told me about where the Thayer's Witch Hazel alcohol-free was located, and I think we shared that on the program. There are some other viewers who also shared similar information. So again, the viewers make this show. Without the viewers, this channel and this show would not exist. So again, my thanks to all the viewers out there for all the great information regarding witch hazel, razors, blades, brushes, etc. Again, thanks to all of you out there. You make the show and you make the channel possible. Thank you all very, very much. And Ken, I'm glad that you're enjoying the alcohol-free witch hazel that you found at your local big box store, Walmart. This comes from Abene Samant. When I was at the Maggard's Meetup last year, I won a straight razor, which I don't know how to use. I traded it to somebody for one of the new Henson's Aggressive. It was fantastic. I use the term was because my son asked if he could borrow it, and he loved it so much, he asked if he could have it. Nothing makes a wet shaver happier than having family and friends asking if they can have things, and I love sharing my collection. Wow, that's absolutely fantastic, Abene. Wonderful. And again, that's a great family memory connection that your son is going to have for forever. When he got Dad's razor, he'll always remember that, and he'll always think of you when he uses it. Which is why I like this morning shaving tip so much. Same kind of connection going on with a shave soap scoop. Thanks again for that, Avi. Really, really do appreciate it. Oh, Beth Jones writes, Bucky's coffee mug. Yes, Texas has a lot of Bucky stores here in Texas and across the Southwest and Southeast. They sell a lot of t-shirts too. Yeah, and again, Beth, thanks to you and Jim for the t-shirt you sent to the channel. Absolutely love it. It's a favorite. This comment comes from viewer Stuart Stern, 7428, and he left this comment in a recent Second Cup podcast, and he writes, Hello, Mark. I just wanted to take the time to thank you for all you do for the wet shaving world. I'm a regular viewer of the Monday Morning Mailbag and Second Cup, along with all your shave videos. I've been following you for almost 2 years from the very start of my wet shaving venture. You have helped me develop a solid technique and helped direct my product selection, which has bettered my roads traveled in the wet shave world. Just want to say thank you, and maybe I'll start being a regular voice in the Monday Morning Mailbag. Stuart, thank you very much for the kind words. Really do appreciate it. And please, as I say, I welcome your company and your comments, so please feel free to comment as much as you'd like. Always great to hear from you. Regarding all this information that you received, it's because of all the great viewers out there and fellow wet shavers who contribute to this channel, who contribute to the Monday Morning Mailbag. It's because of them that your wet shaving journey has become better. And my thanks to all of them for sharing a wealth of information regarding the traditional wet shave. They are the ones that need to be thanked. So please allow me to extend your thanks to all of them because they make this channel and this show possible. As I say all the time, without you, this microphone would be silent. And I mean this sincerely. So thanks to all the viewers out there for your many, many contributions to the Monday Morning Mailbag and also to this wet shaving channel. You make it all possible. Thank you very much. And that wraps up this week's refill segment. My thanks to everyone who contributed. Really do appreciate it. We'll do it again next week. Okay, let's check out some new wet shaving gear. Viewer Matt Panter very kindly and generously sent along to the channel an absolutely awesome piece of wet shaving gear. We're going to do an unboxing of it for you right now. This is the Omega Elite Synthetic Fiber Shaving Brush, their new GT series. Again, I took a glance at it, and I thought, well, you know what? I'm going to do an unboxing on the Monday Morning Mailbag, so we both get a chance to look at it together. This is available at Maggard's. You can get this at Maggard's. Again, this is the Omega Elite Synthetic Fiber Shaving Brush, their new GT series. Let's just unbox this right here and check that out. Check that out. It's still wrapped up. Okay, we're going to pull this out. And here is a card right here. Let me get the card here first. Okay, Omega, made in Italy, right there. Okay, and there's some important information here. What do we got here? Important. The fibers used to manufacture this brush are the result of years in development of innovative technology, which led to a product very close to natural fibers. Okay, so that's right there. I'll let you get a screenshot of that, and then you can maybe do a freeze frame and read it later on in its entirety, because I want to open up this shave brush. This is absolutely fantastic. Now, the GT series salutes racing. Well, here's what they have to say. The Omega Elite Synthetic Fiber Shaving Brush, new GT series, handmade in Italy. The knot is made with the innovative Elite synthetic fiber, turned resin handle inspired by the iconic colors of the most famous cars in the history of motorsport. The brand new Elite synthetic knot is the latest technological evolution among the Omega synthetic fiber brushes. The improved technical characteristics, such as the larger knot diameter, the special corrugation, and the very fine tips, make this brush better performing and more pleasant to use. The knot, considerably larger than standard synthetic ones, develops a much more voluminous lather and a satisfying creamy soapy feeling for a deeper and more agreeable mechanical action on the skin. I'm going to read that one more time. The knot, considerably larger than standard synthetic ones, develops a much more voluminous lather and a satisfying creamy soapy feeling for a deeper and more agreeable mechanical action on the skin. How about that? Let's take a look at this. Let's get this unwrapped right here. I think I'm just gonna pull that off. Look at this. Isn't this gorgeous? Now, these are the colors of the McLaren Motorsports racing team right here. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Look at that. Omega Elite. Now, here are the specs on this. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? That is absolutely gorgeous. Okay, it's an Elite knot. The handle is resin. It's multicolor, as you can see. There are different colors available that salute different groups in motorsport racing. The handle length is 54 millimeters or 2.3 inches. The loft is 54 millimeters or 2.3 inches. The knot is 29 millimeters or 1.14 inches. And the weight is 3.3 ounces or 94 grams. How about that? It's absolutely gorgeous. And of course, you got GT carved right into the handle there, as well as Omega and Elite. This is absolutely gorgeous, and that is a very, very generous knot. Absolutely gorgeous. And I'm telling you, the softness of this is impeccable. It is amazing, amazingly soft. Boy, it's beautiful. It looks like it has some good moderate backbone. Looks like it'll splay open very nicely for face lathering. It'll also perform very, very well for bowl lathering. Boy, I'm really looking forward to using and reviewing this. So very, very soft. Whatever technology that they're using in creating these elite synthetic fiber shaving knots, this is another leap forward. As we discussed on the show, the Monday Morning Mailbag, and on some of the shave videos that we have here on the channel, the shaving brush, the synthetic shaving brush that you bought 3 months ago is going to be surpassed by something, the following month, the month after that, 6 months from now, that sort of thing. This right here, I think this is the new standard. Just by feeling this on my hand and how soft that is, this has got to be the new. It's definitely up there. It's definitely up there with some of the best synthetic fiber brushes out there. Let me put it to you that way. Yeah, absolutely raising the bar. This is really, really a wonderfully soft feeling shaving brush and promises great, great lathering performance. So again, a big, big thank you to Matt Panter for very kindly and generously sending along the Omega Elite GT Series shaving brush to the channel, allowing me to share this with all the viewers out there. We are going to get a review done on this. I am so excited to use this in the shave den. It promises just to perform wonderfully well. We're going to do a face lather with this. We're going to do a bowl lather with this. And you'll probably find me rotating this in and out of many of the shave reviews that I do on the channel. This just feels great in the hand. The handle has just the right amount of heft. And that knot is so smooth and soft. Wow. Really looking forward to using this one. Thank you again, Matt, very, very much. Folks, these are available at Maggard's. We'll have a link below. Thanks again to Matt Panter for the Omega Elite GT Series shaving brush. This one salutes the McLaren Motorsports Racing Group. Thanks again, Matt. Really do appreciate it. Well, viewer Rodney, a.k.a. Baba, sent this along, and we shared it last week on Second Cup, and I promised I was going to share it again on today's Monday Morning Mailbag. Rodney wrote, Mark, Blackland Razors has a workshop where they try new things and or may try different metals for existing razors. The first project was a Blackland Blackbird in bronze. This second project is a rectangle nickel-plated single-edge razor, a DE razor snapped in half from what I can tell. It's unique for sure and should be available in a week or two. Check it out and share if you think it's worthy. He sent along a link to their Instagram account where we saw some videos of this new razor that they're developing. And I asked them if I could use those videos on the Monday Morning Mailbag. And they said, sure, but you might want to wait a week or so since it will be released soon with photography and a YouTube video, more reels too. Well, that's great. We'll share those when they get online. I'm not entirely sure but when I'm making this video and when it airs, when this razor is going to have that additional information available. So we're going to go ahead and share these two videos that they had on Instagram regarding this new rectangle razor. Check it out.
Hey guys, it's Shane. I wanted to share a little sneak peek of the prototype of our upcoming Batch 2 razor. And yeah, I know it's hard to believe looking at it, but this is a razor. This is an all aluminum razor with quite a unique handle configuration, and it takes a half DE blade. So it's a single edge razor that takes a snapped in half double edged blade. And I'm going to show you how it works today. We're going to go over it. So the first thing that you have to deal with is the shape of it. We wanted to test new handle concepts and new just shapes, see what a razor can be. And this wound up being actually incredibly ergonomic and surprisingly versatile and usable. There are all sorts of grips you can use with this thing. And actually having the center hollow really opens up a lot of possibilities. It's been surprisingly comfortable and amazing. And I can't tell if it's hideous or amazing to look at, but either way. So we have a button on the bottom. You push this button. The top cap comes right off. It's held together with magnets. And you have your blade right here. There's a little recess in the back to pull the blade right off. And it drops right in. And the top cap comes in right on top. Holds together super well. And yeah, we're just curious to hear your thoughts. This is going to come out in January. And frankly, we have no idea if you guys are going to love it or hate it. And I wasn't sure until I started using it if I would love it or hate it. But so far, it's a love from me, and I'm curious to hear your thoughts. So let us know what you think about the Batch 2 prototype. And it'll be coming out in January. Thanks.
Hey guys, check out the rectangle. We just got them back from finishing. This is a nickel finish. Nickel is stronger than anodized aluminum, more scratch resistant, and it looks cooler. And it also has better glide characteristics, so it'll be a bit smoother when you shave with it. And these are turning out amazing. We are going to be laser engraving them next week, getting magnets installed. This one doesn't have them yet. And then we'll be ready to go. It's probably a week or so for Batch 2. And we can't wait to get these in your hands. Rectangle razor coming soon.
Well, there you go. That really is a unique razor. My thanks to Rodney, a.k.a. Baba, for very, very kindly sending along this information and giving us a heads up on this. Folks, as more information becomes available, we will share that with you on upcoming Monday morning mailbags. Rodney, thanks again very, very much. Well, last week, viewer Jeff Palmer introduced us to a razor blade holder pegboard, a really, really neat 3D printed device that'll help you keep track of the number of shaves you have with each razor blade. And that was his shaving tip last week. It was terrific, and we got some great response from viewers regarding it. Well, he sent one along, and I want to show it to you on today's show. Here it is right here. How about that? There it is. There are the magnets right there in this 3D printed pegboard. Now, these holes have a little bit of threading in them, and the magnets have a little bit of a threaded stud, and you can see that right there. So that when you insert them into the hole, you can give them a little twist, and they give you a little bite, and they stay seated like that. Okay, just like that. Yeah. Really, really neat. So you could configure it 5 across this way, or mount it this way and do 4 across, however many shaves you anticipate with a razor blade. And this way, you can use this pegboard and these magnets to keep track of your razor blade use. And he sent along a letter here, and he says, "Hey, Mark, I picked white and black because I thought it would go better with most wall colors. I used Command adhesives to mount it. If you want to use screws, you have to put in your own mounting holes. One word of advice: run the drill counterclockwise. If you run it clockwise, it will cause the drill to rip through the plastic and jump forward surprisingly fast. Also, make sure you don't get one magnet close to the others. They are rare earth magnets and attract each other. I haven't really ever had an issue with this from mine, but do be careful with them. Once mounted, as long as you keep them in line with the holes, it should be fine. Thanks again for all you do. I know we all pitch in, but you are the voice we all listen to. It wouldn't be near as fun shaving if we didn't have someone like yourself to keep it interesting and share the thoughts and ideas with everyone. Enjoy, Jeff Palmer." Jeff, thank you very, very much for the kind words. I really do appreciate that. That's very, very nice of you. But thank you again for sending along this razor blade holder pegboard that is 3D printed. Folks, we will get the link to Thingiverse where you can download the plans for this and make your very own. This is absolutely wonderful. Check that out. Jeff, thank you so very, very much. I thought this was an ingenious shaving tip. And for those of you who like to use magnets in some way in your shaved end to keep track of your razor blade use, this is great. You can just mount it in one area of your shaved end on the wall and always know where it's at, where the blades are, and how many uses you have of those razor blades. Really, really terrific. And I wanted to give you a first-hand look of it right there. There it is right there. Absolutely fantastic. 3D printed. And again, 3D printing is enhancing the traditional wet shave and its available gear in so many ways. Again, razors, shaving brush handles, razor holders, brush holders, and now pegboards to keep track of your razor blades, a razor blade holder pegboard. Jeff, thank you again very, very much. Again, folks, we'll have a link to Thingiverse below where you can check this out. Jeff, thank you again so very, very much. Well, this week we have an update on the Henson review that ran this past Wednesday, and also the introduction that we did to it in last week's Monday Morning Mailbag. This comes from R.H. Dave, who writes, "Hi, Mark. Thanks for the synopsis of Henson's updates on their razor design. As I watched your review, I think I noticed one other slight change that you didn't mention, namely the short edges of both the base plate and the top cap appear to have a slight concave indentation that I didn't see on the red one you held up. If so, that seems like a great update to make one's grip more sure as you tighten the handle down. Do my eyes deceive me? No, you are absolutely correct, RH Dave, and thank you so much for sending this along and pointing it out to us. Absolutely fantastic. And you can see right here, let me just show you right there. If you can see that, you can see that the Henson razor on the right does have that little concave edge on the cap and the base plate of the razor head. And that allows you, again, to get a nice grasp of it like this so that your finger and your thumb won't slip off as readily. And he followed up here by sending along a photograph. And he says, "Hi, Mark. Here's a shot of my Gen 2 AL 13++. And as you can see from the photo, very, very clearly, you can see that concave indentation on both the base plate and the cap that allows for a better grip of the razor head. How about that?" So my thanks to RH Dave for very, very kindly pointing out this additional feature that a Henson razor that we missed seeing and pointing out. So another great reason to get the updated version of the Henson razor, these great indentations on either side of the razor head, cap and base plate that allows you to get a nice grip of that razor head whenever you're attaching or detaching the handle. RH Dave, thanks again very, very much for passing this along to the channel and all the viewers out there. Really do appreciate it. Well, oh my gosh, I almost forgot to mention that this Friday is Valentine's Day. Luckily, Phoenix Shaving has a marvelous scent available just in time for Valentine's Day. We introduced it to everyone last year on the channel. Here it is, Danaid Foil 50 from Phoenix Shaving. Boy, is this a fantastic scent. This is an homage to Tom Ford's Ombre Leather. Boy, if you like leather scents, this is the one to get. I absolutely love this scent. Now, Doug, Fran, Huxley, and everyone at Phoenix Shaving very kindly sent along the shave soap and the aftershave splash to the channel last year for use and review. And I love this scent so much that I purchased the Star Jelly. That's how much I love this scent. Really, really wonderful, wonderful leather scent. Again, it is an homage to Tom Ford's Ombre Leather. And here's the scent profile. Violet leaf, cedar, cardamom, jasmine sambac, orris, raspberry, leather, woody notes, amber, and tobacco. And as they explain on their product page, Danaides, really, Doug? And you expect me to pronounce that? Indeed, I do. As advertised, we have always been more than just shaving people. I mean, what better way to express the theme of love than with a tip of the hat to Hypermnestra, the Danaid who chose to defy her father and not kill her husband, Lynceus, on their wedding night, unlike her other 49 sisters, thus foiling his plans, a classic Greek myth from grade school. You know what? It took me an entire year, and it suddenly dawned on me. When I read that paragraph, all of a sudden the light bulb went off. That's why it's called Danaid Foil 50. She's the 50th Danaid of the Danaides, and she foiled her father's plans by not killing her husband on her wedding night. So that's why it's Danaid Foil 50. I just realized that. Very, very creative the way that Doug and Fran come up with these names for their shave soaps. Anyhow, it's a marvelous, marvelous scent. If you like leather scent, this is absolutely marvelous. I love this scent. And again, I liked it so much. I also got the Star Jelly. They have a complete collection up there that is available just in time for Valentine's Day. Again, happy Valentine's Day to everyone this coming Friday. I hope you have this or a similar Phoenix Shaving product in the shave den so you can celebrate a Valentine's Day with your better half out there. This is a good one, though. This is really, really a good one. We'll have links below. So my thanks again to Doug, Fran, Huxley, and everyone at Phoenix Shaving for very, very kindly sending this one along to the channel and allowing me to share it with all the viewers out there. From Phoenix Shaving, Danaid Foil 50 We'll have links below. And that wraps up this week's look at new wet shaving gear. My thanks to everyone who contributed. Really do appreciate it. We'll do it again next week. Okay, let's check out some of these questions and comments. This email came from viewer Stan Chapman. The subject heading reads, Arko Shave Cream, Bowl and Brush. And Stan writes, hello, Mark. Still watching 3MB regularly, but been a while since I sent anything in, and I figured I was overdue. Below is one of my most recent discoveries. I've tried several shave creams, including Cremo, but finally settled on Arko. I like the fact it actually lathers, so for me, it's easier to see and thus use. Started using it for shaves while traveling using my hands and then brushes, but found it took a surprising amount of water, which resulted in me slinging lather everywhere and making a mess. Feeling adventurous one day at home before a shave, I decided to see how it did using a shave bowl. Wow, was I ever surprised. By adding all the water in the shave bowl while mixing the lather made it a lot cleaner to shave with, and I think performed better. Tried several brushes and bowls and found it didn't matter which shave bowl I used, but synthetic brushes work better for some reason. I always soak my natural hair brushes before use, but again, they just didn't do well for me in this application. The one thing that really surprised me is how much water it took for the shave cream to glisten in the light, indicating complete soap saturation. Always scared me to add more water each time, but for the pictures below, it took about 100 drops of water to fully saturate the shave cream. With the amount of lather left over, I think I'll use half the shave cream as shown in the pictures next time. Stan Chapman. Hey, Stan, thanks very, very much for the insight regarding Arko shave cream, its use with a brush and a bowl, that sort of thing. Now, we have Arko shave cream in the shave den right here. I've got the Comfort and I also have the Cool. And I've used these in the past, haven't used them in a long time, but this time around, I'm going to use a shave bowl, I'm going to use a synthetic shaving brush, and I'll report back and kind of compare notes with you as to how much water it required and that sort of thing. Now, it's not going to be as scientific and as much detail as you always give us, and I really do appreciate that with the exact measurements, that sort of thing. But I think we'll be kind of ballparking it, so to speak. But yeah, I'm very, very intrigued now as to how these are going to perform with a synthetic shaving brush and a shave bowl. So hope to get a review done on these, and thank you so very, very much for your insight regarding Arko shave cream, especially the fact that it works best or better with a synthetic shaving brush. Stan, thanks again very, very much. Well, earlier in the show, we mentioned the Rockwell razors available for sale at the Gold Palm Accessories website. Big discounts on these. And Tyler Fike checked in and wrote, Mark, my 6C arrived today with 0 issue. The razor was packaged well and is in perfect condition. I'll include some pictures of it. So Gold Palm Accessories gets a big thumbs up from me. Hey, Tyler, thanks very, very much for this. And thanks also for sending along the photos of the Rockwell 6C that you got from Gold Palm Accessories. Again, we were talking about the really, really big discounts on Rockwell razors at this website. Tyler ordered and received his, got a really nice discount on it, says he has 0 issues. Tyler, please follow up with a review of this. Really do appreciate it. Viewer Tom Smith 522 writes, I know everyone raves about the Henson, but the style doesn't appeal to me. A little too futuristic. I like the traditional look of a safety razor. Hey, Tom, that's fine. Your mileage may vary, as we always like to say here on the show and throughout the wet shaving world. However, Futuristic, did you know that this is a vintage razor design? Yeah, got this information from Wikipedia. The Henson is based on a vintage design. The company is named in honor of Samuel Henson. He was an aviation engineer and inventor. He invented the T-shaped safety razor and had it patented in 1847. So if you think it looks futuristic today, just think what they thought of it back in 1847. Yeah, it's a vintage razor design. Absolutely. We'll link the information below in Wikipedia. But again, your mileage may vary. If you feel that it's not to your liking, the traditional safety razor look, that's a great look. And if you feel that gives you a great shave and you're comfortable with that, by all means, go with it. But just wanted to point out that there is a history and a vintage history with the Henson razor. So, Tom, thanks again for the comment. Really do appreciate it. It allowed me to share that little bit of information with all the viewers out there. Thanks again, Tom. Really do appreciate it. And that wraps up another Monday Morning Mailbag. Thanks so much for tuning in again. I really do appreciate it. Please share, please subscribe, please like. Hit that bell so it'll give you a yell the next time I upload a video. Comment below. Let me know. Check out all the wonderful artisan soap makers and sellers that you see displayed on the bottom of the screen right now. They make and offer some wonderful artisan shave soap. They also offer some wonderful wet shaving gear to enhance your traditional wet shave. The next time you're online, please take a moment, pay them a visit. I sure would appreciate it. Thank you very much. Also, check out my Amazon product page at amazon.com/shop/MarkZarady, where you'll find all the Amazon listed products that I review in this channel, organized and categorized so you can find everything in a snap very easily. I'll leave you with this laugh. Hey, we have another double take cartoon puzzle this week. Try to find the differences between the two cartoon panels. If you need more time, just pause the video or try to find all the differences before time runs out. Thanks very much for tuning in again. I really do appreciate it. Make it a great week.